Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be here for this new episode of the WAN Network Show. I'm Rémi Laurin, Director for LoRaWAN Networks at Semtech and Chairman of the LoRa Alliance operator community. You will be very happy because we took a plane here. We left Europe. We moved to the Northeast. And you know where we are? We are in India. We are pleased today to welcome SenRa, represented by Ali Hosseini. He is the CEO of SenRa. And Ali, the scene is yours today, and I will let you introduce yourself and your company. Welcome, Ali.
Oh, thank you, Remy, for having me. Thank you for putting me on the WAN Network Show. I'm pretty excited to be here. So I'm Ali Hosseini, CEO and founder of SenRa. We're an IoT LoRaWAN network operator in India. I currently have been in the IoT industry since 2015. And prior to that, I was working in the health and life science sector, providing consultation services for some of the largest medical device and pharmaceutical companies. So I'm glad to be here and to talk as much as we can about what we're doing in India.
Thanks, Ali. So India is not a small country, and you are a LoRaWAN public operator in India. Could you share with us what type of public networks you are deploying in India, and what makes you unique on the Indian market?
Sure. So we are deploying public commercial grade IoT networks, specifically LoRaWAN, across the country in India. We're currently in about 76 cities from north to south to east to west of the country, deploying some really large scale smart city projects all the way down to industrial size deployments at factories and manufacturing facilities. I think what makes us unique is we're basically one of the pioneers of the technology in the country. We've been here since the beginning. In 2017, we launched our first network in our headquarter city, which is New Delhi. And over the years, we've kind of been the experts within the tech space of LoRaWAN, being able to really provide commercial grade, reliable networks with proper RF propagation modeling, network designs, and solutions.
Okay, cool. So India is a very large country. I can imagine that you have many vertical local markets. You have also many local government that you have to manage. How can you cope with it? Be one public network across multiple markets, in fact.
Yeah, so at first we just wanted to focus on educating the government officials. We're based out of New Delhi, which is the headquarters of all the minister offices. All the government policies really come out of that city. So what we tried to do is kind of just introduce ourselves, talk to the appropriate departments like the Department of Telecommunications, the Bureau of Indian Standards, and try to educate them on what LoRaWAN is and get their buy-in on the technology so that they understand how powerful it can be and benefit the smart city initiatives that are going on. After that, it was really just a strategy of developing a team that could be remotely based in different parts of the country to address those markets. And then we also divided our team up into B2B focus as well as B2G. So we have some people talking to government officials, talking to city CEOs of smart cities. And then we also have a team that are dealing with some of the largest corporations out there doing private network installations or taking advantage of our public infrastructure for some of their enterprise projects.
So Ali, everybody knows that SenRa is on all verticals, but are there some compelling IoT projects that you want to share with the audience?
When we first started, we started doing some proof of concepts and pilots, really focused in the smart city segment. Our first project was in ultrasonic water metering in a city called Waharda in the state of Maharashtra, which is about central part of India. That project was really great because we got to show off the technology. It was a small scale water meter deployment, but we got to provide some really good insights to the CEO, or what you would call the mayor of the city, and they got some really good insights on water savings, where the water consumption was, and we were even able to identify water theft that was taking place. So that was a really fun project that the city had no idea what was going on with their water usage, but then had complete visibility. After that, we had a cool project in parking. We actually took parking sensors from around the world and we deployed them in a non-traditional manner where we were installing them on street corners where there was traffic congestion. And we developed an app for the police department to receive notifications when someone was illegally parking in those street corners. And then they were able to take that information, issue tickets, and actually within 6 months, they were able to pay off the entire solution. And after that, it was nothing but profit. So those were really our first couple of projects that got us in the gate, and people started to find out who SenRa was. After that, we landed some really large scale, probably one of the largest scale water meter deployments in India right now, outside of the city of Pune. It's a smart city project called PCMC. We've got over 10,000 water meters that are connected, and we've deployed a full-blown city network there. And that has really given us the credibility in the market to know how to do large-scale deployments on LoRaWAN. After that, we started doing a lot more utility projects, gas metering. We did some small electricity meter projects. And we just recently closed another large water meter project in the city of Goa. We'll have a press release coming out on that soon about our partner and what we're doing there. But yeah, we've got tons of fun stuff to do. I think one of the funnest projects we worked on was actually tiger tracking in Pinch Park. That park was actually, if you ever heard of Jungle Book, the author that wrote the story of Jungle Book got his influence and inspiration for the story from the park that we actually did some piloting of tiger tracking. We were able to prove the network was able to penetrate robust forest and still get signal of tracking equipment that would basically save the lives of tigers as well as the park rangers that were monitoring them.
Okay, so very interesting. So Ali, even if LoRaWAN is a ITU standard now, you will tell me that India is specific, right? So every IoT market is specific. That's also the beauty of our business. So how could you explain the specificities of the Indian market and what are the opportunities for LoRaWAN in this region specifically?
Sure. Well, India, as well as some other countries like in Africa, is really price sensitive. I think South America is also another place you will find that price sensitivity is a very important topic. So if you can't meet the specific price market expectations, you're going to have a hard time penetrating. The great thing about LoRaWAN, it's low cost, it's affordable, and there's a lot of diverse vendors out there providing solutions at different cost perspectives. So once we were able to get the appropriate partners on board for that specific market, really after that, it kind of organically grew. We have probably a larger inbound lead than our outbound sales leads. People come to us with all kinds of different projects from different verticals. Right now, the biggest that we're seeing is obviously in the utility space, but also in the industrial IoT space, where a lot of manufacturing, asset tracking, people tracking, equipment monitoring, those kind of things are taking place. And now that we've established ourselves as one of the leaders in the space of LoRaWAN and IoT, we actually get a lot of inbound leads from different places.
So SenRa is in India, but you are also known as a global player. You are able to deliver services anywhere in the world. Can you expand on your global strategy or international strategy?
Yeah, well, when we first started, our focus was purely India. We kind of fell into the global market based on the needs of the India market. We realized that just having network was not going to be enough to get the ecosystem moving. So after that, we developed relationships with vendors to create products for the India market, which then led us into kind of this distribution role where we were helping vendors get their products into the country. And that relationship from a distribution perspective actually rolled out into the global market. Aside from that, we realized that although India is great and knows a lot about software development, there wasn't a lot of expertise in taking data from sensors and making sense of it. So we developed our own in-house IoT analytics platform, and that really positioned us into the global market. Within 6 months of rolling out our first version of the software, we had about 40 different countries that had created a developer account at a minimum to use the product for some of their R&D and testing and piloting. Now we have over 60 countries using our analytics platform for all different kinds of projects, some at commercial scale deployments, and some that are still in the institutional R&D space. And then I guess at the end of 2020, we finally got our first customer in the UK, followed by a customer in Kuwait. And now we've got clients all around the world that reach out to us to use our services. Just because we're not deploying IoT networks outside of India doesn't mean we can't enable others to deploy networks. And with our expertise, our network planning skills, and the software that we use for the network management was actually from our partner in the US, SenRa. We're able to enable everyone to deploy end-to-end solutions around the world.
So back to India, you were one of the first to invest in India. What was the challenge to develop a local ecosystem? I know that that's the first task of any public operator in a country. So it's a large country. How could you manage that?
Well, actually, relationship with Semtech was quite crucial for us in the beginning. Semtech has a team in India that closely worked with us to kind of introduce us to players in the IoT space, not necessarily LoRaWAN, but in the IoT space in general. And I spent a lot of, in the first 2 years, of traveling all over the country, meeting with these companies, talking to them about their digitalization strategies, trying to understand if LoRaWAN was a good fit for them as a market strategy and a go-to market strategy. And over the years, we developed relationships with different companies and different verticals that felt LoRaWAN would be a good space for them. So there was a lot of educating going on. We even did a lot of collaboration from the development perspective. We've got a couple of guys that are really good experts in embedded engineering. And we have our own little lab that we do RF testing, a little small coambic chamber that we can do stringent testing on devices. So these partners that come work with us would send over their prototypes, their hardware, and we would test it for them to make sure it was compliant with the LoRaWAN specifications and standards. And we'd give feedback to them to ensure that when they are ready to go to market, that their products are high quality. In return, we got to use them on projects that we work on and at least promote their products to some of our end customers. So it's a lot of work there. We also worked with companies outside of India that had products, were established from the US, from Europe, and we collaborated to get them to create an India version of those devices. And we worked on getting the appropriate approvals from the government for importing and customs and that kind of stuff so that we could bring those high quality products into the Indian market and use them on projects.
Looks like innovation is one of your main investments. We all know that developers are the future of IoT and maybe the future billionaires, I don't know. Could you develop some specific project with local developer communities?
Yeah, so we've got two kind of spaces. Some that are the professional developers that work for these companies that are developing products on behalf of the companies that hire them. And then we've got the tinkers and the developers in the institutional space. So one, we work closely with some of the largest institutions like IIT Bombay and Mumbai. We work with them. We've been working with them since 2018 to create not only a curriculum around LoRaWAN and IoT, but to also give them access to our platforms so that they can have a place to play. And then on the professional side, the developers are able to use not only our LoRaWAN network server, but our analytics platform for free. So we've got a free tier account for both. You can add up to 5 gateways on our network server. You can up to 5 devices on our analytics platform. And you can really create an actual pilot or a POC without having to pay for anything using our platforms. And so we work closely with these developer communities to enable them to be able to understand the technology, tinker, do their R&D at almost no cost.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. And Ali, what if you could give a message to the Indian IoT end users? What would it be?
So anyone that wants to digitalize their business or get into the IoT space, I think the key thing is to know who you're working with from a relationship perspective and a partnership perspective. You really got to understand who you're dealing with, what's their background and expertise, and what kind of projects have they done in the past. There's a lot of people out there that say they can deploy IoT solutions, that say they're LoRaWAN network operators. But at the end of the day, you'll notice there's a few that constantly come up that are reliable networks, and we're one of them. We've got years and years and years of experience in doing projects, and we've never had a failed project since the start of our company. And that just comes from the expertise, our processes that are in place, and our due diligence on top of our high quality network. So yeah, anyone that wants to get in, and this is not just for the India market, it's for anyone around the world. If you're looking to digitalize, just make sure that you team up with the right partners that can help you through your journey to make you as successful as possible.
So cool. Ali, you convinced me. If I want to subscribe to SenRa connectivity in India, what's the process?
Well, you can reach out to us on our website, or our email address is info@senraco.com. Our website is www.senraco.com. We've got tons of information, FAQs, resources there. There's even a subscribe opportunity there to get emailers. But yeah, I think the best thing to do is just contact us, reach out to us, send us an email, and some of our team members will get in touch with you. And we really walk our clients through the journey from start to finish, and that starts from requirement gathering. So we might have a bunch of questions for you, but at the end of the day, we're going to have the solution that works.
Okay, let's try it out. Cool. Is there something that we missed today that you want to add or you want to share with the audience?
No, I think we've captured it all. I just want to again say thank you, Remy and Semtech, for inviting me to talk on the WAN Network Show. This is a really great initiative, and for those viewers and listeners, I would strongly recommend staying tuned to other programs that these guys come out with, other episodes, because it's really great content. Thanks, Remy.
Okay, so check out to SenRa, guys. Thank you for your time and listening to the podcast. Great to have you, Ali. Guys, stay tuned. New interviews to come very soon. Looking forward to see you, SenRa, very shortly. Please subscribe to the WAN Network Show. Follow us on LinkedIn. And see you next. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ali. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe for new episodes and sign up for new episode alerts. And visit us in person at NLIT in November. Talk to you very soon.